Good evening, everyone. Thanks for jumping in. Um, Jack was just talking about uh, his unit that became vacant. He was going to, he was moving on eviction, but the tenants decided to move out. So now he's got some stuff that they left behind that he's got to get rid of. But I think, Jack, it was a good thing that they left and you got, uh, I think you said you got all of the money that was owed to you except for the gas bill.
Yeah, the gas bill was over 3 grand. Um, I'm just not going to pursue it. It's just, I don't know. There's so many other things going on that I just don't think trying to chase after them is going to really get anywhere.
Yeah, I think Mikey had a similar situation. At first, he wasn't sure if he was going to pursue the losses, but then when his attorney had told him how much it would cost and how much between that, how much he was owed, it wasn't really going to be worth it.
Yeah, when I was talking to the attorney, it quickly lit up. He said it's going to be about the same price as it was to a victim,
Mhm.
which would be about $1,000. So I know that, it's 3 grand, but I don't know. I'm kind of just with the whole situation, I'm kind of just like, just let it go. Just move forward, get the walls installed, take the $500 more a month in rent, and learn from all my mistakes on that one.
Were you able to keep the deposit from your tenants that left?
Yeah, I kept their deposit too. Plus I got all the back rent or the back rent and stuff.
That's good. I mean, right now it's winter, so I know you're not excited about having turnover.
Mhm.
Well, with all the stuff that they left, I have to hold on to it for 30 days. And I think honestly, it's going to be by the time I'm done dealing with all their stuff in the place still, it's probably going to take me almost till past the Las Vegas event before I can actually start really making progress anyway. I'm what I'm thinking about doing is just moving everything into one unit so I can start work or not one unit, one room so I can start working on the upstairs and get that done and taken care of. That's where the bulk of the work that I'm going to be doing is going to take place. Frank, do you care if I share the video a little bit?
Oh, no, no. If you'd like to, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So you're going to
It's
share.
a little bit longer. It's a little bit longer, but I'll just skip over it.
Okay, I think you're able to now.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this is the unit here. You guys hear it or not?
We can see it.
So basically, this is the property here itself. The camera didn't pick it up, but the paint is dirty, but I don't actually blame the tenants. You can see a little bit of it there. I don't necessarily blame the tenants. I think honestly, it's just for me using cheap paint.
When you do paint, do you just use flat wall or do you use something like satin or eggshell?
I'm probably gonna do eggshell this time around. This is the kitchen. Um, I'm probably gonna do eggshell, I think, and I'm thinking of doing an almond, kind of like the color that's there.
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm trying to show you guys there. I muted myself. I got tired of this. Oh, the floor is loose there. So some of that's going to have to be cut up so I can work on that. This tiny stairwell always makes me feel a lot bigger than I am. It's just so tight. It creaks and complains the whole time. I'm gonna jump ahead here a little bit. Oh yeah, the handrail's coming undone, but that I don't know what happened. It's like the railing on the bottom is actually like it almost looks like it's just dry rotting away.
Jack, is
So
that
we're
a
gonna.
single family house?
This is a duplex. It's the one unit, the eviction one.
So you just had one gas line for
No, the
the
gas is
whole
separate.
the separate?
Hmm.
If you don't mind my asking, how did you get the gas in your name?
They never put it in their name. I should have honestly kicked them out when they didn't transfer it. But yeah, I was stupid to, it's just a lesson learned. But right here is one of the walls I was telling you about. So try to find it real quick. Basically, from the corner on the left there and running over to the walkway is where I plan on doing one of the doorways. That's good enough. Shower. I'm not sure if the tenant did it. I know I didn't do it, but that caulking job on the bottom of the stall is in bad shape. So I want to go ahead and redo all that. But I was talking to a handyman, and when he was suggesting, oh yeah, there's some water damage there. Nothing too bad. I was talking to a handyman. He was suggesting, let's tell him what my goal is. So right here, I would tell him I want to put another wall here to try and truly separate it, make this what we're looking at the master bedroom. And he was saying do some, I forget what he said the style is, but basically do the same type of angles and stuff that the shower stall is. And that way it doesn't eat up so much room into the master bedroom. And that's honestly it for this unit. Everything else is just me walking around explaining stuff, and that's kind of all that you guys really need to see.
Yeah, it doesn't look horrible.
No, it looks good, and honestly, I think as far as the walls looking dirty and stuff, it's because of me buying the wrong paint and buying and trying to be cheap.
Hmm.
So buying Benjamin Moore and like something that's easily cleanable, I bought Valspar and just the cheapest paint possible because I didn't know better at the time.
Yeah, I think, oh, go ahead, Lindsay.
No, saying I honestly it looks really good. I don't think you have to spend more than 2 weeks really turning it over.
I think the big thing is going to slow me down is the holidays, honestly.
Hmm. And why were you going to add a wall in that bedroom or
To
around the
make it
master?
to make it a true two bedroom, the like where the doorway is from in between the two bedrooms, I'll
Hmm.
put a wall that goes to the bathroom and kind of make that a hallway.
Okay.
And then and the other one just put like another little wall thing so that you can have the master bedroom so people aren't walking through a bedroom to get to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Jared, I gotta tell you, I laughed real hard at your comment earlier in the school community.
Uh-oh, which one?
You're saying I should paint the walls hot pink.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Give us some give us some pop.
Did you see my comment back?
I did, and I don't want to reply, but I do know a guy in Phoenix that I don't know him. I know the real estate agent that was listing the home or wanted to list the home. He goes, dude, if you ever sell this house, you have to let me list it. It was complete with what you'd mentioned and the whole nine. It was a single guy, obviously, and anyway.
We got a few people that haven't been here in a while. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Frank?
Good. Great to see you. Thanks for coming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anything new going on this week?
Nothing too new for us. Really, I mean, again, we just renewed, I think I mentioned this last time, renewed our Ohio property, same family, kind of in the suck stage right now, just kind of saving up for our next down payment, but looking hopefully end of next year, fall next year, do a house hack here out in Arizona, and rent out our primary. But good to see everyone, and yeah.
Did you say you were in Arizona?
Yeah, I'm down in Tucson, but grew up in
Oh,
Phoenix, yeah. So
okay. I'm investing in the Phoenix Metro is why I was asking.
yeah.
When you renewed, I forget what you said about the rents. Were you going up just a little bit on that one?
Yeah, so we went up, I think market, we're pretty close. I think we got another $50 a month out of them, and then we have like a 150 annual pet fee as well. But cash flows pretty well, even in Midwest market. So as you know, Frank. So
Yeah.
But take what we can get, considering I think things are softening just in general, or it has been the last few months. So
Yeah, no, that's good. A lot better than a turnover.
for sure, for sure.
Most of you all know already, but we record these so that we can put them on the school platform. Last week, somebody reached out because they didn't want to be recorded. So if any of you all ever feel that way, just shoot me an email and we can delete that part of the video. I think Harrison, you're new with us. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for jumping in. We're pretty informal. If you have any questions or any struggles or anything like that that you want to talk about, feel free just to jump in anytime. We a lot of the people in here have quite a bit different experience, so hopefully someone might be able to make suggestions if you need any. If it's okay, where are you at, and do you have properties already?
Yeah, so I've jumped around to a couple different accountability groups, and I'm just trying to find one that fits my schedule. But yeah, up in Maine. I've got 2 properties right now, and yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we have people from all over the place. Sam's in Texas, Sean's in Georgia, Mikey's in Hawaii, Esther's in Washington.
Nice.
Yeah, Jared is up in Oregon, investing in Arizona, and Dennis is in North Carolina. So yeah, so most of the time we just usually let the questions point us in whatever direction we're going to go for the night. But I was going to mention a couple of weeks ago we had Mark Simon on with us. He's a lender with Nexa Mortgage, and he's going to try to come back with us next week. If you guys have any questions for him, that would be great. They do a lot of different things. they do conventional stuff. They have DSCR products, and um, they're pretty big, so they have a lot of variety in what they can do. He also does commercial stuff. So
Cool.
yeah.
I got a question here.
Yeah.
Does anyone know anything about renting to like a cannabis dispensary as far as that goes with insurance? I don't know if anybody had any history with that or knew anything about that. I know sometimes they won't cover insurance if there's some issues with that, or yeah, just because I think it's still federally illegal. So
Josh might know, Frank.
Josh Burdick.
Yeah, he's not here, but you can reach out to him somehow.
Yeah, I can check in with Josh for you. I know they do it all around our area. I don't really know the legalities of it, but out here we're kind of rural, and I'm in Santa Cruz, near Santa Cruz, California, and they reach out to people out here that have a little bit of space that it's almost like, sometimes people rent part of their lots for RV parking and things like that.
Sure.
And they were offering some pretty decent rents to set up, but I don't know about how well they're governed as far as chemicals and things. I know a lot of the chemicals that they use aren't really good if they're not contained properly and things like that. But the guy that Jared mentioned, Josh Burdick, he's in Washington State.
Sure.
I'll shoot him a text and see if he has anything about that.
And this is specifically just for a dispensary as well, too, not for a grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes a difference, I'm sure.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Dispensary.
Yeah, my guess would be if it's in a state where it's legal, it's kind of like driving 6 miles over the speed limit. You can probably get away with it, but if anyone ever found a reason to want to give you trouble, they technically could.
Right. Right. It's more of I remember talking to insurance about it and them saying something about, and I didn't know if there's another way to find another insurance company that might be willing to do it, or yeah, I got to do more research on it.
Right.
Yeah, it might be, if you're going to be checking out insurances, like an insurance broker, probably
Yeah.
starting with that question, they might be able to have some options for you too.
Yep.
Might even be worth asking an attorney, if worse come to worse, could someone like seize the property or something and it takes like 10 years to get it back or something? Be what I would be afraid of.
Or like a due on sale clause type of thing. Like, so that's the thing I would be most hesitant about.
Is it a commercial space already that you're thinking about, or?
Yeah, it's a commercial space on the bottom, and it's got 2 apartments up top. And I'm just trying to find like a business to go in there for like a year, 2 years, just to stabilize. So
Okay. Maybe Chris Culp too, huh? He's in Pennsylvania, and he does commercial stuff out there. I'll check with him too.
I like that lawyer idea though, Stapley. I think I might do that.
Couldn't hurt.
No, it's worth
Yeah, I mean,
$100 or whatever it's going to be for that
Right.
question.
that's the reason a lot of cannabis shops can't get funding, is because nobody wants to lend,
Right.
because technically it's federally illegal and you could like lose your investment.
Right. Right.
Even though right now they're not prosecuting it, the winds may change.
Right. 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 Right.
And they get robbed a lot because of the cash business.
Right. The space I have is right across the street from a police station. So,
That
Might
should
be.
help mitigate it.
yeah, yeah.
Although I worked at a bar when I was younger as a door guy, and it was right across the street from the police station, and everybody knew it, and people were just dumb. They would drink and drive right off the lot every night. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. What ended up happening to that bar? It get shut down?
It's still there actually.
Wow, okay.
And I used it to my advantage because I had a guy that was causing problems in there one night, and he'd happened to have his hands in his pocket, and he went, "What?" like that. And when he did it, a bag of weed. This is back when it was illegal.
Yeah.
Fell out, and he grabbed it real quick. I'm like, "All right." And he didn't want to leave. It's like, okay. So one of our waitresses there she was smoking hot, and one of the cops came over to talk. So I went up, and he was in the front of the bar. So I just went up to him, hey, that guy in the back room over there has a bag of weed in his left pocket. Really? So he goes over there and says, let me see what's in the left pocket. He's like, no. I said, and then I went over there and stood there, and I'm like, well, I asked you to leave. You didn't want to leave, so we're gonna do it the hard way. And he was, oh man, that guy was pissed. Anyway, we got arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I think that's kind of my end goal, that I kind of want to open up a small or a small bar right there down the road. But I just got to stabilize for 2 years, and I think I just got to take a breather. I've been running for 3.5, 4 years of just 7 days a week, and I'm just burnt out. And I got to recharge a little bit. So,
That's funny you bring that up. I'm new. I'm only a year and a half into this, and I was cranking
Yeah.
pretty hard for a year. And that guy, Chad Coach Carson, he talks about levels, where you're climbing the mountain. You're not going to climb to the top of the summit day one. You climb, and then sit at the base camp, and then climb again. And I really believe in that. And so
yeah.
I'm doing that same thing with my finances too. I'm cranking really hard and then taking a break because Christmas. And then
Right.
my
Yeah,
wife
yeah.
actually ensued that one. So and then January we're gonna kick on again. So I think it's a good strategy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to a point where like I'm making, like I should be able to make what I make at my jobs now. So then I can just kind of take a month or two off and just breathe and just figure shit out and just run down, man. Just exhausted. So
When you say exhausted, is it from the real estate part of it or just everything in general?
I'm just everything in general, dude. I'm working 5 days a week at a shipyard, and then I work at a bar on the weekends. And I've been doing that for like 4 years. So just to build up the capital to rehab through the stabilization period. And then, and I just got this one, but I really wanted to get to this point because I wanted to have the W-2, one, to get the buildings, but two, if I ever wanted to open a business down the road, I have that option, whereas before that's not really now it's at a point where I can kind of like rest a little bit, so.
Yeah, that would be awesome to be able to take a little bit of a break. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah. I'm actually on my way into work right now. I've got to go to work the third shift right now. So I wanted to stop in and just say what's up. And I think I might be coming back to this one more often than not because it just fits my schedule a lot more. So
yeah, you're always welcome. I don't know if you had hit Jared's on Sunday. It's
I have hit Jared's before.
Yeah,
That's a good one too.
He's been there before, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And just keep going, everybody. Just keep grinding.
Yeah, we're here every week, so come on back.
I'll be there, man. See you, brother.
Take care.
Thanks.
Brian, you're back.
I am. Yep, I'm back after a long day of work.
What are you working on these days?
Still working on that deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Had to pretty well do it in phases. So yeah, just finishing up the actual deck portion. A little bit of framing left, and then I'll finish up the actual deck portion of Trex, and then onto the railings.
What are you using for railings? Anything special?
No, no, quite honestly.
Just redwood
Maybe
or something?
maybe redwood, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Do you ever do cable or anything like that?
I gave her the option, but she's going with just 2x2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna lag them all in so it'll be all nice and secure.
Yeah, that's cool. I just finished a little one today. It's all pretty much painted with semi-solid stain, so it was a bummer painting over that nice clear redwood.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey Sean, were you around when we were talking with Dion and Dana when she was on? Because we asked her your question about getting two rent payments a month. And it is possible on the M-Lane platform, she
Oh,
said.
really?
Yeah. So just wanted to catch you with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think if you rewatch it, it was just the day before yesterday, I think, and she's on his thumbnail, so
Mm-hmm. Okay.
you can catch what she said about that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at a couple of different strategy, like making a second unit for it, or just you can send you can send individual invoices, but you can't like do it automated with the software I use. I kind of hate to do another platform, but
Yeah, if you have to send those out kind of manually, I mean, it's probably not difficult, but it is just
yeah.
something else to think about
When
each month.
right when I say manual, I mean I got to go in and like fill out a web form, right? And say this is how much they owe, this is when they owe it, and hit submit. Versus saying it's this much on the first of the month, boom, and it's I got to go in and like look at the actual, days. So
Mm-hmm. So you would have to do that each month, or it's just a one-time thing?
well, so yeah, this kind of interesting. This is what the tenant said to me, right? He said, I'd like to start paying like, on my payday, every 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, why is that? And he's like, he said, because it's easier for me to know I'll have the money. I just like to know I had the money. And I'm like, well, I'd like to know that too. So I'm going to try to accommodate that. He's actually pretty good, but I mean, he's kind of admitting like, hey, work with me here. And I'm thinking it's the least I can do is, kind of like the Dion philosophy of making it easy for the tenants to pay. So, but yeah, what I would have to do is get out a calendar and go in and look, like what the dates are and go fill out the form. It would probably be, 20 or 30 minutes worth of sending stuff out for 2005, but it's probably worth it in the long run.
Yeah.
Probably less work doing that than like changing platforms. But
Mm-hmm. Or at least to try it for a while too. In case
yeah,
the situation changed, maybe. I think
yeah.
that's
Well, part of the situation he had was he got fired and had to take kind of a lesser job, which is why he asked for this. And he's kind of working his way up. He's already got like a promotion. He's a landscaper. He's already got a promotion. So, hopefully he gets kind of back up to where he's monthly again, but both of us don't want him to have trouble paying.
right.
But thanks for asking that for me. I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, she's always super helpful.
Anytime I've been easy on the rent like that, they've taken advantage and it's gotten worse over time in terms of not paying.
Yeah, I think he's right to stay on top of it and try to make it as easy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the renter I split it with twice a month. They they go further into not paying, you know.
Hmm.
So, anyways, that's my experience.
Was that one that you already got rid of, or somebody you're dealing with now?
Well, yeah, they kind of like slid. They kept sliding. They don't have the money on the first. They'll get to me by the end of the month. A month passes by, they don't pay. Um, so that's one of them, and the other one, um, they had trouble paying the first of the month, and they said like they got checks twice a month, their paycheck. So I said, okay, yeah, let's split it, and then you can pay me every other month, but or every other week. But they have some health issues with the daughter, and they can't pay right now, and there's that kind of stuff going on now. So roll with it.
Yeah, we've done that a couple of times, but it's ended up in eviction. That was in the Milwaukee duplex, and hopefully these new tenants that got placed, we got one at the beginning of November and one at the end of November. I'm hoping they stick around for a bit and do what they're supposed to do. We spent quite a bit of money rehabbing those units, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of it back.
Yeah, I hate the rehab costs. It's like 30,000, and that's like 3 months of rent just to break even on that.
Yeah. I think you were saying last week you almost had your commercial building built.
Almost there. It should be done this month. We're
Okay.
doing the HVAC right now.
Oh,
We're doing
right.
the duct work and then a lot of HVAC equipment. So it's 5 units. So five HVACs going up with all the duct work. But it's 4 units at one building. So, all the duct work and all that other work, that's all get a big discount to get it all done all at once.
Okay, cool.
But it's taken a while because for that building, I had to put in 4 gas meters, turn those on, and then 4 water meters. And then we're working on the electric. We have 1 meter working for the whole building right now, but eventually we're gonna move that to 4 separate meters too. So
Mhm. Okay.
I put a lot of money into it.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Put in like 200,000 into it, maybe more. Yeah, hopefully
And
get a return on it.
yeah, hope so. How long is this something you just purchased recently?
I got it late last year, November.
Okay.
So yeah, and the damn tax is like 4,800 a year.
Mhm.
So gotta take care of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping it starts renting by the end of this month or early next month.
Mhm.
We should be done by then. I already got two or three tenants wanting to move in. So yeah, soon as we get done, they can move in and I'll be done with.
Great.
Yeah, one of them is a 10-year. So that'd be really good.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That would be awesome.
Yep. And then worst case, I can always resell the building with all the improvements.
Mhm.
So I'm not worried about losing any money on that. I'm thinking about selling my Jackson, Mississippi place, my house.
Hmm.
Talking to Chester about it if he wants to buy it.
Uh-huh.
Or if anyone else wants to buy it. I mean, it's like 80 to 90,000 and 1150 rent. So, and then the property tax is like 1,400 on it. So, a pretty good return on it.
Mhm.
I just I just want to take that money and go commercial with it.
Yeah, I think I don't need to be in any other markets. I'm already in 4 different markets.
I just throwing that out to anybody that wants to.
You could go for the record, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think is that it. I don't think that's a good idea to do like multiple markets like that. And then, but eventually you figure out which ones are no good and you move out of them, right?
Yeah, we're managing, we're doing okay. And you know, Dion gives me a hard time about that occasionally, but we didn't just jump into all these different markets. We were following turnkey deals, and we had what I would say were some decent boots on the ground. You know, I wouldn't just go there without knowing anybody, but yeah, it's a great conversation starter.
Yeah, but I had about 14 on my portfolio, and I quickly figured out which ones were good and which ones were bad, and I learned real quick to get rid of the bad ones and then keep the good ones. So right now I only have the good ones. I'm down to the good ones.
Yeah.
And then I got a loan on one, and the guy's saying he's got to fix it up and then sell the house, and I'll get paid off on the loan. Which is great. I don't have to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to do anything with it either. The one in St. Paul, I got to pay off on that one, so money
Okay.
should be coming in shortly here. So I need that money to put into the HVAC into the Detroit place.
Mhm.
So yeah. So yeah, that was a good one. That was a good return on that loan. I put in about 30,000 into that loan and got about 50 off of it. So, and I didn't have to do much. They were I just got a letter in the mail about the vacant status fee. It's got up to almost 5,000 a year now on that. Plus the property tax on that is probably 3,000 to 4,000 on that house.
Hmm.
So that's like 8-9K out of pocket right there for the investor that bought it. So good luck to them.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
That's a crazy city. And yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. They'll probably flip it because renting it makes no sense.
Mhm.
They're probably gonna flip it. Hey, I'm sure there's money in flipping it. They better do it quick because
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully they have a plan for that.
yeah. I had the owner try to repair it and get out of the vacancy status. I kept bugging her for 3 years, and I don't know. These people have a screw loose. They
Hmm.
don't understand what they need to do.
Mhm.
They kept she kept hiring people on her own, and I would use this other guy to fix up my place in St. Paul, which I lost money on. So I referred him to her, and she kept getting ripped off. Like the guys would just like they would disappear on her.
Mhm.
And I told her, you should have just gone with this guy. I've been through this before. Just go with the guy. I know he's charging you more, but things are gonna get done. But she didn't understand that. So
Mm.
but I'm glad she sold it off. Yeah, it's just can't work with these people at all. Renters, the people on these loans. Yeah.
Hmm.
Very unreliable, very irresponsible. The payment on that loan was about $350 a month, and she's not paying it.
No. Yeah, that's not much.
That's not much for anywhere.
Hmm. Well, it sounds like a good thing that you're getting out of there.
Yeah, I didn't want to touch that property. Like I did not want to foreclose on it because then what the city does is they leave the people alone on the personal. Like if it's residential and if a person's name is on the property, they leave that property alone. But if they see a corporate name on it, oh man, it's like all kinds of fines and
Mm,
code violations and all that kind of stuff. So I left it alone to have her deal with it.
mhm. Hmm.
It's like I'd rather like break even or make a little bit than start losing money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was just disappointed with the Jackson, Mississippi one because it's like 10,000 for the roof over there on a 1,200 square foot house. So things are looking to be not that much cheaper with the property manager there to fix up the place.
Yeah, that sounds a bit high. I mean, unless it had 3 roofs or something on it that had to be torn off first. A bunch of damage.
No, it's one roof. And it's like I'm asking for the tile that they use, the asphalt that they use. Like, what's the asphalt that they use? Because the property manager for Detroit said, okay, it's got to be these many years for the warranty. It's got to be a brand name. So I'm asking them what asphalt that they use. That way I can figure out whether I want to keep going with them. You know, it's like, did they use a brand name with X amount of year warranty on it? So
Mhm.
either they're reliable or they're not, you know, it's what it comes down to. And there's ways to test this out and figure out if you want to like continue with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 10,000, it's like, come on. It's like, and I see it's like the pictures I see is like there's one guy working on it on top of the roof. Like, where's the money going? Like,
Yeah. Unless he's going to be there for a month or something.
well, I think it took him 3 days to do it, 3-4 days. But again, this is Jackson, Mississippi, and the income is not very high in that area. So I don't know why these people are charging so much for everything.
Yeah.
It costs like $1,500 to clean out the house. Like they're charging me that.
Yeah, I noticed like the other day I went to Lowe's and Home Depot. I was shopping for roof material, and the roof material for a house that is size of 1,000 square feet. I got a good deal. It was about, let's say it was about $2,000. So that's architectural material, like that's architectural shingles.
Mhm.
And so if you look at it, and if someone's asking for like, let's say $10,000 for replacing the roof, well, if it takes them 3 days, that's 24 hours, eight hours a day. I mean, it seems like they're charging about $330 or $300 per hour. You know, is that normal? Is that something that usually is the case? I had similar experience with the plumber who wants to charge about $4,500 or $4,700 in just labor, and that's, let's say, also 3 days. So it's about yeah, it's about I'm guessing for 2-3 days. It's about 200 to $300. Just labor per hour. Is that what you guys seen, or or is
That's
this something
very typical.
overpriced?
That's what I run into. Those are the type of prices that I've been running into, and that's why I'm selling my residential homes because there's no way I can afford that.
Roasts
Yeah,
are
I think-
generally priced per square rather than per hour, so it's
Mhm.
really that labor per square generally.
Yeah,
Do you
but they don't. If you go by hour or something like that, they don't want to do it.
No, Ryan, in your area, Do you know what the price per square is?
If it's shingles, oh gosh, I really don't anymore.
Yeah, I know it used to be like around here, it used to be 300 to 400 a square, but I think that's gone up quite a bit. And when you talk about a square, Sam, that's a 10 by 10 area. 100 square feet is one square. So, on the ones that were getting done in St. Louis, for example, on let's see what that would be. It's about a 900. I would call it 1,000 square foot place, and he charged us $4,000. So that's 400 a square, right? That's to tear off one layer and install the architectural shingles.
So it's 4,000 for how big was the house?
It's about 1,000 square feet,
So that's 10 square.
10 squares. Yeah, so it was 400 per square.
That's
And
not too bad.
no, everybody seems to think that's a really good price compared to what they're seeing. Even on our Gary property, they were like double. They were twice as much, about $8,000 there.
How'd you get a low price?
That's the price we've been getting. It's the roofer was referred to us by our agent there in St. Louis, and the first property we bought there, he did it for $3,900, and then we just had him do one a few weeks ago. Same, a little bit bigger house. It was $4,200 for the new house, but yeah. And then when you talk about the labor rate per hour, and they'll usually write it in the contract, because they give you the price for stripping and installing the new stuff. But if there's any wood that needs to be replaced, they'll bill you, or typically they'll bill you about $95 an hour per man for however long it takes to repair the wood and make it so that it's ready to accept the new roof. And that's here in California.
Do you have to pull a permit in your market to put a new roof?
Here in California, yeah, we can do them if it's less than 400 square feet, like a garage or something. You don't need a permit here where we're at, but anything over that you do. And the permits aren't bad here. They're the last one we got was about $400 for a roofing permit, a re-roofing permit.
I'm saying on your Missouri $4,000 roof.
Oh yeah, that included the permit, yes. And the permit was, I don't have his invoice right here in front of me. It wasn't very much. It was like $200 or something. The plumber is the one we've had to have a permit to get new water heaters and stuff, and that permit is $350 just for a new water heater.
What type of shingles did you use? Do you have
Yeah, they use the GAF is a brand. So GAF sells one called Timberline, and we usually just get a dark color, either charcoal or a charcoal and a light gray. I think that's what he put on their last roof. But they're I think it's a 40-year shingle. They're just
Wow.
like the ones that you get from Home Depot. Yeah, not the 15-year stuff. We won't do. So the simple version of that is just a 3-tab, which is flat shingles, and the architectural ones are the ones that look layered, and they kind of look like they're stepped. And Sam just mentioned that Home Depot, I think now, Sam, they're like $41 a bundle. You need 3 bundles for a square, so it's about $130 for a square of the shingles. And then of course, whatever underlayment they need, roofing paper or ice dams. Like Mikey just had one done in Pittsburgh, and they used ice dam material because of the snow and everything in that market. But
I think there's something in the calculation. So probably I was thinking 18 squares, but then I think now it's probably a little less. But you're right. Like And I think GIF is a Lowe's. I think I've seen that at Lowe's. I think Lowe's, that's the brand that Lowe's sells, if I'm not mistaken, because I was there last week and I was looking, but it might be. And but I was gonna ask Frank, is it normal that for roofers, if like if I buy a material, do they just come and do the labor?
They might charge a little bit more. So when the roofers, in my experience, the roofer, when you're having them do it, they'll order the materials and they'll have it stacked on the roof. So if you buy the materials from Lowe's, then there's a bit more labor involved to get the shingles. If you have them delivered to the job site, they need to unload them and they will need to carry them onto the roof. They'll charge you more for that, I'm sure. When they have a roofing company deliver it, you know, they use the truck with the big boom on it and it has that big conveyor belt and they just drop them on the conveyor belt and it takes it up to the roof and there's a guy up on the roof that unloads them and stacks them in different stacks for the roofers.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay,
Mhm.
that yeah, that with that conveyor belt, and that makes it probably much easier. Though that may explain why, and may even if someone want to do the labor only, maybe will be a little more expensive. You haven't thought about that. That's a great idea that they use that.
Yeah, most roofing companies deliver like that these days. And it's so the process would be, you know, they get the permit, they strip the roof. If there's any plywood or any thing like that that needs to be repaired, they'll repair it. Then the inspector comes and looks at all the sheathing and everything, make sure it's all good before they put the new roof on it. And then they're good to go. They can roof it. And then when they're done, the inspector comes back and makes sure that everything looks good. He'll check the roof jacks, make sure that they're all sealed around your vent pipes and things like that. And then he'll sign it off.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's for sharing. Good to know. Yeah, I'm trying to see the plumber. If the plumber, it seems like once you mention a permit, everyone increases their prices. That's what I've noticed. Um, to the extent that one of them said if there's no permit, it'll be cheaper, and with the permit, because you have to go there 2 times, then the prices is higher.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of weird when it comes to that stuff. If a customer wants a permit, we just get the permit and I don't raise my prices because they got a permit. It is an extra step, I guess, for the plumber or for the electrician because the plumber will do all their work and then typically they need to come and be there when the inspector comes in case the inspector wants anything changed or if they did something wrong or anything like that. But for you, I think it's a little bit more protection because the inspector is going to check and make sure everything was done up to code. And for example, when you put in new what they call waste, drain, and vent plumbing, or DWV, drain, waste, and vent, that's like all the black ABS. So if you're running all new plumbing in the house, we're supposed to plug it at one point so that they can fill it all up with water. So they will go up on the roof and they'll put a hose into one of the vent pipes, say for the bathroom or the kitchen, and they fill the pipes with water. That way you make sure there's no joints that are leaking inside the house. And if there is, the water comes out right away, so it's real evident. And then we fill them up the day before the inspector comes. I'll check for leaks. If we have any, then we'll repair them or get them right. And then when the inspector comes, they just walk around and knock on the pipes because you can tell when they're filled with water. And if they're filled up above the, I guess, the floodplain in the bathrooms and stuff, above the vanities and above the kitchen sink, then you're good to go. But has the price varied a lot between no permit and with a permit?
No, I mean, when I initially told them that I want a permit, and but one of them was just recently yesterday, like, yeah, this is because we have a permit. If this is too much step, we have to, do the inspector. Inspector has to see it, and we have to correct it if something, goes wrong. And my initial reaction was like, well, you're if you're a if you're a certified or licensed plumber, I think things should go right the first place, right? I mean, why would you be worried about the inspector coming to check after you if I'm hiring you based on your experience, and you should be knowing the code, and you should be, I'm thinking it should go well the first time. You don't have to revisit or do any reworking. But yeah, I mean, he was like, yeah. So he was trying to increase the price based on inspection and all that, and I was trying to say, if could have done this, very well in the first time. You don't have to. I mean, yeah, but yeah, kind of he was like, yeah, because of the permit and inspectors, and right, you're the licensed guy.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, different inspectors are different. Sometimes some are super picky, because there are certain fittings you're not supposed to use for certain things. And sometimes they're sticklers. Sometimes they'll let it slide. But I think in this case, I would opt for a permit, just because of that extra layer of protection for you. Because
Yeah,
you're
I
not a
would like.
plumber. You're
Oh
not
yeah,
a plumber. You don't know really what you're looking at yet. I mean, you will eventually, but and like you said, even if they're a licensed plumber and they do it all the time, very rarely will the inspector call out something that they have to change. But it's just part of the job.
yeah. No, I'll go with the permit. Yeah, like you said, it's a good layer of protection. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for that and your electrical. Sometimes you sometimes the homeowner can apply for a permit. It's not that way everywhere, but you would need to just probably write a brief description of what you're doing. You might have, say, gotten a permit for the whole remodel and say, we're replacing windows. In your case, I saw your video the other day and you're adding a door there where the garage used to be. You put a window where the garage is. So those things, they would typically want to see the framing, like for that new window that you put in or the door that you're going to put in. They want the wall open so they can see the framing for the new door and the new window, things like that. And so you may want to be careful, because if, say, you get a permit for the plumbing or the electrical and the inspector's there checking out the plumbing and he sees, the new door in the garage and nobody's checked the framing, he might call that out. You might have to go back and revise your permit and include those things. And then I noticed around your window, it was all patched in already. So they might ask you to open that up so they could see the framing around the new window. So that somebody just didn't cut a hole and pop a window in there without the correct framing, things like that.
Yeah, these are all good points, Frank. So this is this is one of my, like, the first remodeling to that level for me. So it'll be a lot of rookie mistakes. I'm sure a lot of things that may not go right, but I think so far so far I learned a ton, and but yeah, you're right about all that. It'll be a first experience with the city inspector and come and check the work and see uh, what they and I'm ready to correct it. It's a very good learning experience. Um, yeah, that's for and I may wanna may chat with you sometime when I'm at the property. So keep that in. Just wanna let's see if I may have a couple of questions and that I would love to talk to you about it and when I'm there if you would be available.
Oh yeah. Yeah, always. Like I told you the other day, I mean, I know things are a little bit different, say from California to Texas, but building in general is pretty standard across the board. They usually use a uniform building code, and even just talking through the project, because there's a guy in Dion's course now, and he was having trouble in Sacramento because windows had been replaced in his rental and years ago, and just now the city is was giving him trouble because there was not a permit pulled for the windows, and they had to, like I said, they had to open up around one of the windows to make sure, because you have to use flashing and things like that when you put a new window in before you replace the trim and all that. So they wanted to see that had been done. And luckily they just had him open up one window and they just assumed the rest were done the same way. So he finally got it cleared, but things like that can happen. And it doesn't matter what day or what time it is. If you need help, just call.
Yeah, thank you. One of the questions that I meant to ask for a while now, but I now I just remembered it. So when you go this extra effort versus you don't, like what I mean is that if you have a property you want to remodel and you got you have two options. One is to go full permit and do all building, plumbing, and all that, versus maybe just doing maybe the yeah, I guess choose pick and choose like maybe electrical is worth doing, and you don't my question is about this is like is it like when you let's say you do a burr method and when the work is done and you wanna go and refi the property. And so when you do the refi, does the bank has anything to do or to ask about these permits, or like is the bank gonna differentiate or ask for permits before the refi is done? I'm sorry, my little one is making his notices. Uh, but is the bank gonna ask about that, or is it this is just related to the city? And this is like I'm new to this, but I'm trying to understand how this process or the refi process works when you do a burr property.
In my experience, we haven't ever had any lenders call and ask about permits. The last one we just finished, the only thing the lender contacted me for, because we remodeled the whole house, we put new windows and doors, and they wanted to know that if I used any subcontractors, that they were all paid so that nobody could place a lien on the home. So I had to sign a paper saying all the bills were paid and that nobody was going to come around after the fact. And different jurisdictions treat things differently. So this remodel that we did was within city limits, and then it's a different planning department for county, which is outside the city limits. But here, we remodeled the whole inside. We did paint, flooring. You probably saw my video. It was the whole house remodel. And we retiled the shower and replumbed the shower and everything. They didn't want a permit. They didn't need a permit for any of the interior stuff, but I had to get a permit for the windows. And in the county, they would have wanted me to have a permit for everything. So it just depends. I find it's best if you go down to whatever planning department you need to go to, check in with them, and you don't have to tell them the address. Just say, hey, I'm thinking about buying this place and I want to, replace windows, new flooring, new paint. There is some electrical and some plumbing inside that we're going to change. Do you require a permit for any of that? And they'll tell you, and they're going to be a lot easier to work with if you, I guess I call it acting dumb in the beginning, right? Because you just don't know any better. So you're just asking questions. Versus if you start the project and try to pull something over on them, then they're really going to hammer you all the way down the line. So I always try to work with them from the beginning. It's a lot easier.
Oh yeah, that's great. And just to see the difference here, like you mentioned the difference. The difference here is like the city or the couple or 3 cities I have talked to before. They kind of require all the permits, but the county is the opposite way, is the other way. They only need 1 permit or no permit. So there's a big difference in your case and in California than here in Texas. So yeah, it's very local. Yeah, this one is in a city, so I'll have to pull the permit. That is good. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and you should see, because like I said, sometimes the homeowner can pull a permit, and sometimes for some reason they can't. The contractor would have to do it. I know in St. Louis, for example, when we did the plumbing, I couldn't pull the permit for the job. They needed a master plumber to apply for the permit, so the plumber did it.
Yes, thank you, Frank. Good.
Of course. Great questions. Thanks.
Frank, is there a general guideline on when you need a permit, or does it kind of vary by jurisdiction?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. My experience is, like I said, I expected to need a permit for this whole house remodel. And I told them honestly, I went in and I said, we're doing all these things, flooring, paint, we're putting in a new kitchen, not making a new kitchen, but remodeling the kitchen, new cabinetry, new lighting and stuff like that. And she said we didn't need a permit for that, but she wanted one for the windows. So, but then last one I did a few cities over, it was also in a city. And I think that's the one you might have heard me mention. I did one in Santa Cruz. The permit was $1,500. I did the exact same thing to another house in another town, and that permit was $8,000. So, luckily the homeowner, when I did my bid, I just estimated around 2,000 for permits. But when I got that news, I had to go right to the homeowner and let him know, because that's a big chunk. So yeah, it just depends where you're at.
In Beverly Hills, you need a permit to park on the street. Because one of my customers, he does pools, and he was working on somebody's pool over there, and he got a ticket for not having a permit. He's parked on the street.
Yeah, I did get a ticket in San Francisco because I wasn't fast enough. They have days where they do street sweeping. So like on Wednesday, they did the right side of the street, and on Thursday did the left side of the street. And I thought I could hear the street sweeper coming, and I missed him, and I got a a ticket when I got out there after work. He was too fast for me.
The ticket's not bad. It's when they tow you. That's when the problem
Yeah.
gets much worse.
Yeah, that would have been all my tools and everything. So I'm lucky. Yeah, I hated working in San Francisco. The parking just sucked up there. And the garages are so small, you could barely fit a Fiat in there, needless to mention a work van.
The permit I was talking about for parking, you had to get that from the city,
Hmm.
like a building permit.
Yeah, there's quite a few places in California that you need that.
Wow.
Yeah, the guy didn't know, so that's why he got, he got a ticket and he had to go back and actually get a permit for the days he was going to be there.
Yeah, and that's something too you remind me of, because so when we do jobs in the county, I don't need a business license. But when I do business in a city, like Watsonville City, I need to get my business license for the year. So that's a couple $100 that I need to add on to the bill, and if I work in Santa Cruz, Watsonville, Scotts Valley, I need a business license in each city. So just depends where you're at.
Well, if you have advertising on your car and you're driving through a city, that city requires you to have a permit to advertise in their city.
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any advertising on my vehicles. My driving is too bad. I don't need somebody getting my phone number right off the side of my door.
Mm-hmm.
We're so lucky you're gracing us with your presence, Mark. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, just
Where-
popping in.
Where's the fancy logo?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, it's not
recognize
there. Oh, okay, good. Thanks for letting me know. Because I'm using a different device, so thanks for letting me know. That's kind of why I jumped on too, to see. So that's I might be popping in and out there while I play around with things. So just don't mind me.
Mm.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Though now I'm gonna hop off probably real fast. Then.
You working on your calendar, Mark?
What?
You working on your calendar?
What are you talking about? Like an elf calendar or what?
Your fireman calendar, wearing Crocs every month of the year.
No. We should do that though. Why is it not? Okay. All right. I'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Santiago. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, by the way, I got my shirt. Thank you.
Oh, great. How's the fit? Good?
Yeah. I'm getting a little weight, so I had to go with the extra large. So
Yeah, they were running big, couple people asked for a certain size and I thought, man, that's way too big for them, but it's working out. So thank you for your order.
yeah, no worries. Hey, I have a question for yourself, for anybody here that might have experience, and maybe nobody does because it's it doesn't happen that often. But you might remember I was doing an eviction. I don't know if I should have mentioned it. Been away for a couple of weeks, but
Yeah.
I was doing an eviction, and the person that I was evicting actually left. Right, so she left on time when the lease was over. Now in parallel with the eviction, I also did a civil suit for unpaid rent. Both of these require, at least in Florida, that I mail the defendant a form that basically says that I'm aware that they are not in the Army, right? They have certain protections here, but they left and I have no idea where they went. So is there, what is the recourse at this point? Do I just take the loss and close the case? You know, any thoughts on something like that? Because I can't send them the letter because they won't get it. And when I file the paperwork, there's a section that I have to check off saying that I mailed it to them. So if I was to check it off, just say I mailed it to them, even though I didn't, you know, I might get in trouble with the court.
Can you send it to, you're talking about a tenant that used to live for you?
Yeah.
Lumberjack talked about this, and I almost had to do this recently. You just send it to the last known address, and when they don't pick it up, you when you go to the court hearing, you just say, "I sent it to the last known address," and you go from there.
Interesting. Okay, that might be doable. I do have an address of hers, I think for her sisters, and I was kind of looking around. They're like, you know, send to whoever, wherever you think she might be, or whatnot. And you know, I just wasn't sure if that was proper or not. But I mean, you're right. I sent it to somebody, right? Can't blame a guy for trying.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far in the eviction process. I think, yeah, so I don't have any experience with that. I was trying to think of who might, actually Dion would probably know.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I'm just wondering whether I should just dump the case anyway, because the loss is not big. It's only about 1,000 or so. But I was afraid that they wouldn't leave, so I started both processes because they kind of broke the lease anyway by not paying, right? So I'm thinking I'm just dropping it. I don't know. It might be more trouble than it's worth at this point. And the other thing that I found out here in Florida is that if it does get to the point where a judge has sets a hearing for the defendant and plaintiff, I can't represent myself. I have to have a lawyer because my home is under an LLC. So they're okay with me doing everything only up to the point where a judge actually sets a hearing. So, you know, I'm looking at this from different ways, and I don't think there's a viable path forward here without me having to spend more money, spend more of my time, more headache and more stress for, you know, I think what's like $1,000 something.
Yeah, a couple of us were talking about that earlier. In fact, Jack, because his tenants still owed him a bit, and Mikey had gone through a similar situation, but once they realized what the process was going to cost, it didn't end up being worth it. I think, Mikey, if you're there, you did something different after the fact.
Yeah, it was the court a comment, please. And when I talked to my lawyer, he was saying it was 600 to file, but you have the ability, I think it's 5 years to file that. So there's a lot of time. And I was going between doing the collections. And I know Mitesh has a different experience, but my lawyer was saying that would be 3,000 to 5,000, so it wouldn't be worth it because the net judgment was like 4,000 something. So you said what we could do is we could do that court of common pleas, and that just follows them around for any credit searches in the future.
Right. So kind of just making them accountable.
Yeah.
For it, even if they don't pay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, is I didn't want to drop the case and just let them run free, thinking they can do this to other people too. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Santiago, I don't have experience with it, but I've actually heard that from other experienced landlords that if you have something to mail, like to where you're required to notify somebody, if you send it to the last known address, registered mail, and then whenever they don't pick it up, it'll come back to you. Then you can always take that and have it as proof that you sent it to the last known address.
Okay.
And the other thing is if you sue them in small claims court, you know, there's a chance they won't show. And if they don't show, you automatically win. So that might be an option you could do too.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Technically, so over here, they have 5 days to respond after they're served for an eviction, and they have 20 days, these are business days, to respond for rent, past due rent. So the 5-day eviction it hasn't been 20 days yet, so it has definitely been 5 days. They did not respond. I looked at the court case online. There's no response and notifications saying that they responded. So theoretically, I can move forward, but again, it's an eviction, and they already left. Now, I did go to the court and asked one of the clerks there, and they recommended I move forward with the eviction, even though they're gone already, because they're saying, you know, they probably have ID with the address of my property, and you know, who knows, any moment they could just pop up, you know, and then say, hey, I'm still living here, and until the judge says no, you're not, then it might not be valid. So, you know, that kind of scared me a little bit. Either way, I changed the lock so they can't get in without having, you know, without breaking in. But you know, who knows? I'm learning a lot of stuff here. A lot of crazy things could happen. But yeah, I'm at that point where I can file it.
Did they tell you
They
they're
did.
leaving?
They told me they're leaving. Yep.
Okay, in writing?
And yeah, I had them sign something saying that the end of the lease is coming, and they're not renewing, they plan on leaving, and then she texted me, you know, saying, hey, they actually left before the lease was over. Yeah, then she texted me, she said, hey, we're leaving. You know, she left like kind of like a nasty comment, you know.
Okay, so when they're leaving, did they give you a date? What that they left?
They already
or-
left. I don't know if they give me a date, now that I think about it.
Okay, so
but
did they
texted me.
leave and they told you they left when they left?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, then that's, yeah, I don't think you can evict them once they leave like that.
Yeah, that's what I didn't think so either. I don't know. I don't know the clerk, you know, maybe he's just not familiar enough with the rules, or maybe he, you know, or maybe he just.
Did you tell them about that part?
Oh yeah, I told him. I think his point was to just have a formal decision made by a judge saying that, yes, not necessarily that I evict him, but I do have possession of the property.
It wouldn't be an eviction because, you know, if you were renting from a landlord and you broke
Yeah.
the lease and you told them we're leaving next month and you
Yeah.
leave, that's
Yeah.
not an eviction.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's
filed it
just a
before that,
broken-
right? But
That's a broken contract. That's civil case
Yeah.
for judgment.
yeah, no, that's fine. What I'm finding is that it's a convoluted process, and I'm not liking it.
How much?
Not enjoying
How
it.
much would you have to pay to take him to court?
So I paid already about $280, which is not a lot. You know, from what I'm hearing, other people here paid a lot more than that. So that's relatively cheap to file the documentation. I would have to send a letter, like I mentioned earlier, about that it is to my best knowledge that they're not in the army, and I would have to get that notarized. So I would have to pay a notary public to notarize that. And then there's a few other paper filings that I have to do afterwards just to complete the process, right? So at this point, let's just say I won the case in quotes, but to formally close the case, I have to file more paperwork that might cost me another $150. Overall, not a lot of money. It's just a lot of work.
So about 500 or less to go to court and in front
Yeah.
of a judge. I
Yeah,
would do it.
I mean,
I would do it because it would, you know, just to get it on their record.
Mhm.
That's worth it.
Well, this is the twist, right? Is that if they do want us to go to court, right? If she does contest the civil suit, then I have to pay a lawyer to represent me, because the state of Florida won't allow me to represent myself while I have an LLC.
So if you do file and they can dispute it,
Mhm.
and then you'd have to have a lawyer.
And then I have to have a lawyer. If they don't dispute it, then I can just it's an automatic win. Yeah, if they don't dispute it, it's an automatic win. So I'm still waiting on that because it's 20 days for that. 20
And
business
how
days.
much would it be for the lawyer?
I mean, I've seen advertisings, and so I don't know how true it is, but you know, they're saying like maybe $500 for an eviction type of case, $600.
Yeah, this is not eviction though. This is a
Right.
judgment. This is for a
Right,
judgment
judgment.
against them for rent, back rent, or damages to the property.
Yeah, when I first started looking at it, it was technically it was for an eviction plus the rent, but honestly, I'm just kind of thinking of dropping it, so I haven't put much effort into that. So I'm also in the middle of they left, so I'm in the middle of rehabbing that property, and I'm in the middle of moving, and I don't have nowhere to go. So yeah, it's a bit hectic.
I mean, if I were you, I would, if it cost me $1,000, up to 1,000, I would go ahead with charging them. That way it goes on the
Yeah.
record. And then that
Yeah.
kind of stops them from doing that again to someone else.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm a little concerned with is if these are the type of people that might take, retribution, right? Oh, we already left, you kept our deposit, even though it didn't cover everything they owe me, and you still went through with it. And, I don't know what they're capable of, right? That's kind of that makes me nervous.
Santiago, are you trying to get the $1,000 expenses back?
That is correct. That was the main goal.
Okay, so I'm having similar situation actually. The previous tenant so they left, and we did a lot of cleanings to the house and some repairs. So the total cost is about 3,300. So my property manager is asking them to pay right now, giving them 2 weeks to do that. And if not, then it will go to the collection agency. I think the collection agency will mark their record too.
You're right.
If they don't pay. So that's probably
Did you already get a judgment?
Yeah.
You got a judgment. So that's on the record now. And so you're going to pay a collection agency about 20% to get your money back?
Yeah, that's fine. But no lawyer involved in this case. Just the collection agency.
Yeah, I don't think she got a judgment, Mitesh. I think she just was going for the collection agency.
Yeah, to get the tenant.
How can they do that because there's no judgment?
Well, we're asking them to pay. We're giving them time to pay. If they don't pay, then we'll turn the bill to the collection agency.
No, they can't do anything. They can't collect on it because there's no judgment.
That's the way that my property manager.
No, you need a judgment. You need to go to court first. There's no the collection agency has no legitimacy unless there's a judgment.
Well, they're not making any rulings though, right? They're just saying pay it. They're just gonna annoy the hell out of you until you pay.
Yeah.
I mean, they can annoy them, but it's better to get a judgment.
Yeah.
And that's how they send the medical bill to collection agencies, I think. But there's no adjustments usually.
Yeah.
So and then the collection agency will try to get the money back, but I don't think there's any judgment in that case as well.
Yeah, so that's my property manager suggesting.
I'm gonna look into that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. That just might be the easiest way to go about this, especially since
they have money.
Well, they didn't pay me, so I'm not sure they do, right? They were behind basically they were late every month, until until like, what was it, October maybe, and then they just kind of paid me a couple $100 here and there. I can't be sure if they have money. One time I went there, they had 3 cars, but that doesn't. Maybe they just don't manage it properly.
I mean, if they have income, they have money.
For me, the tenant was I mean the guy works for Boeing, so
Hmm.
apparently they should have money.
Yeah, the one of the tenants is a nurse, so they make pretty decent money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying on
some people
the
some
future
people they
income.
don't want to pay. They don't pay the rent, but they pay some other things basically.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
they
mean,
the
if
way
they
they
have income,
manage.
you could what do you call it? You can grab the money from the paycheck.
Garnish.
Oh, they garnish their
Yeah,
wages.
yeah.
I think you definitely need a court decision for that one though.
You
Right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the collection agency, I think that's a good route to do.
Nah, I'd go for the judgment. Go for the throat.
Ordinarily, I think I would have, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna drop it. Like I said, I'm in the middle of moving. I'm actually moving to South America, so I really don't want to have this on lingering. But thanks for the advice, everybody. Appreciate it. That I think that I'm gonna look into that collections scenario. That might be worthwhile.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Mark, you don't have room for all that stuff on your picture there.
That's the pain. I gotta change all my. I gotta change all my Remax shit now. I got. So I just gotta figure out some stuff to change around right now, so I can at least change all the banners on all my pages.
So what is the wolf?
That is I guess the EXP brokerage that I fall under. So like Kobe falls under the wolf pack.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
there's a main guy, like the tier 1 or whatever tier that is.
Uh-huh.
And then so we're under him. So like Kobe has his own. He's like his is like infinite something. Like that's his smaller group. But the wolf pack is like the main one.
Okay. Yeah, after because when we were on the other day, I mentioned the agent that I work with that's out here, and I had lunch with Shane today, and he knows Kobe too. So because he's an EXP agent as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Curtis reached out to Kobe also. So Curtis is kind of running through the thoughts of if he wants to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Basilio, I thought you forgot about us. Where you been?
I know. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. It's been a
Hopefully you're
while. I
out
know.
there making a lot of money.
Kind of, yeah. Pretty busy with work. But hey, I tell you what, I'm gonna see you guys soon. In Vegas.
Coming
That's
up.
what counts. That's what
Yeah.
counts.
Good.
Are you guys? Is everybody going to Vegas? Everybody from this group that is on this call right now?
Almost. I think
No?
there's a couple that are not.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to get together with all of you over there. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it seemed like the year was taking so long to get over with, and now it's just a few weeks away.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Is it one day or multiple days?
It's the weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday. A few of us are planning to go in on Wednesday before and leave Tuesday because Friday's Valentine's Day and Monday is President's Day.
Oh, okay. You spend a lot more time there.
Yeah. Yeah, Cynthia and I don't really get to go many places, so we're making it our vacation.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there on Thursday. I'm leaving Orlando like first thing in the morning. My flight is like at 6 a.m. I think, or 5 a.m. Yeah. So I'm gonna be really early in Vegas. I wanna enjoy the day, and be able to spend some time during the day, and then hopefully at night meet you guys. I know that Dion had the Dennis meetings last year, so I'm hoping he's gonna do the same thing next year, actually, right?
Yeah, they're planning on doing them Wednesday night and Thursday night.
Nice, yeah, that's gonna be cool.
I just drive my car over there. It's a 5 hour drive from Los Angeles. And I'm usually able to get a $50 a night Airbnb bedroom, which is about typically 8-10 miles away from the strip. It's about a 15-20 minute drive. So that's how I do it.
Yeah, that'd be good. Did you make up your mind on whether you're going or not?
Well, I'll be going. I'll be going. I just need to buy the ticket. I'm not sure if it's going to sell out or there's going to be a time limit on me purchasing one.
Yeah, he was saying today that the tickets are starting to move faster. He still has some tickets. I think both general and VIP.
Okay.
Yeah. My
It's
wife
just,
and
I don't buy things until it gets close, and then I'm sure I can attend. If it's like 3-4 months out, I don't know if something else is going to come up and I can't go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point that I'm in right now. A lot happening, and a lot of expenses. So I'm trying to, if I do go, it's going to be last minute. But
Yeah, you do have a lot going on. So you said you didn't have any place to go. Does that mean your New Jersey place isn't ready for you?
so the original plan was that I would go. So the property where the people that I was evicting, they left, right? I was intending on living there for a couple months while I fix it up, but I got a hold of contractors fairly quickly, and it looks like I might be able to get a good bulk of that done with just by the end of December, maybe early January. And then my brother lives 15 minutes from the house. He can help me with some small details if needed. So now I'm reconsidering that, right? Instead of living there, I might put it up for rent sooner. And then, like I mentioned, I'm kind of gonna be hopping around doing that digital nomad type stuff, living for a little bit, try that out. So I'll be in South America for a little bit, and I'll see if I can manage the properties remotely this way, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so that's kind of why I said I don't have anywhere to go, because I was intending to go there, but it's in the middle of being rehabbed, and when it's done, I'm putting it for rent right away.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, the good thing is that regarding the event, like the actual event, the tickets are refundable. I mean, I was supposed to go with my wife, but we decided about a month ago that she was not going to be able to go, and it was better to just get a refund. And I just issue my refund request through the Eventbrite website, and it came through right away. So yeah, I mean, up to 7 days before the event, you guys, can get your refund. So same thing with the with the hotels, I mean, hotels you can get refundable bookings, right? So that way, up to X day, you will have the hotel refundable if you need to cancel, for whatever reason. That's what I will do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, it's good to know. The only thing at that point would be just the plane ticket have to worry about. But yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those seem
Yeah, when they play ticket, you can do the same. I do that at work, like when I go on business trips, because sometimes we have cancellations at work with trips. Like we get all the stuff refundable, including like flights and everything. It's a little bit more expensive, but at least it gives you that peace of mind, that if you have to cancel, at least you will get your money back, right? Or at least a credit with the airline.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend $20 in gas to get there.
Yeah, we think we might drive too. It's about 8 hours, 9 hours for us, but from where we're at, we weren't able to find a flight that was nonstop. I guess they all want to go through Los Angeles and all that kind of stuff, but by the time we do all that, we might as well just drive. And
Well, you have a car. You can drive your car around over there once you get there.
yeah, we might do that this time. Last year, everybody just Ubered around together, so it worked
How many
out really
people
well.
attended last year?
It was full. It was like over 300.
It's at the same place?
Yeah,
So is it like an office building? What is it?
it's the Blind Center. It's a school for the blind, and they have one big room where the stage was and all the seating, and then there were there's a place where they set up the VIPs for lunch and dinners, and then there's like a bowling alley. We didn't walk around that much, but there's a bowling alley. There's a gym. There's other breakout rooms that you can go and sit if you need to. So that's pretty cool. And
So
it's
just
about
like a bunch of sessions for 2 days?
yeah. So each day there's like speakers it's like every 30 minutes, guys. And then there's a question session after each speaker in case you have questions for any particular person. And then a 2-hour break for lunch, and he's doing lunch on Saturday and dinner on Saturday. And then in the evening, they're having refreshments. So the first day is like 12 hours. It's from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. And then the second day, he's paying for lunch for everybody that has a ticket. And then last time he let us out or kicked us out about 5 p.m. on Sunday. And
Anyone take advantage of the bowling?
I don't know. Like I said, I explored a little bit, but I didn't get that far, I guess, because I didn't see the bowling alley. I didn't see the gym, things like that. But
Were you there for both days?
yeah, everybody that went, I think, stayed for both days, except for there were 1 or 2 people that flew in late Saturday that I know of. But yeah, everybody was there.
Is lunch provided?
Yeah, like I was saying, whatever ticket you have, last year, the general admission tickets he didn't provide meals, but this year he is, because he felt that was a mistake on his part. So you get lunch. If you buy general admission, you get lunch. If you get VIP, you get lunch and dinner with the VIPs, with the speakers that are there. And then on Sunday, you get lunch. Same thing. General admission gets lunch somewhere, and VIPs get lunch with the speakers. And he made them longer to 2 hours for networking and stuff, because that's where a lot of us found the most value, was walking around meeting people.
Okay. The first time he did it was last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that
I just posted on the chat like the whole agenda for day one. That gives you an idea of
oh yeah,
what is going to be happening on day one, and the duration of each session, right?
great. Thank you. I don't know how you guys do all this stuff. I was talking to Mark about it. I feel still so technologically challenged.
I was just saying, how did he do that?
Oh well, while you guys were talking, like when you go to Eventbrite to look for Silver's event, like if you were gonna go buy the tickets now online, like in the website there, like he posted already the whole agenda. That wasn't there before, but I think he recently updated that on the website,
Okay.
so you can see everything there.
You got some pretty fast fingers.
It's
Yeah,
good that
I
he's
work
doing
here.
2 hours for lunch and
Yeah,
dinner. 'Cause that's a long day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is a long day. It's
What'd you guys do after hours for dinner?
a bunch of people, they broke up into different groups and went to different places. We ended up finding that Caribbean restaurant. I don't know how many of you on here were with us at that, but there was a Caribbean restaurant, and the challenge was the groups were like probably, I would say, between 10 and 20 people each. So that was a challenge, finding someplace that could take 15 to 20 people all at one time. But we lucked out and we found some places. on Sunday night we found our group. There was about
Oh,
probably 20 of us that we found a brewery. We went to a brewery and because we thought they had pizza, and they ended up not having any food. It was just beer, but they had this awesome catering truck outside, so we got to eat and just hung out afterwards, and then we did that on Saturday night and Sunday night. You have to watch Mikey though, because when he starts drinking, he gets really mean. He must be working. He's not listening.
Uh-huh.
No, but it was fun. A few of us even hung out because last year a few of us stayed at the Venetian, and so afterwards we went gambling for a bit. Just hung out talking. Over there at the Venetian, they had a nice, like, it was a food court, but there was a bunch of tables, so a bunch of us met in the morning and had coffee and well, got to meet everybody for the first time. We've been chatting on Zoom and stuff for a few months before that, but it was nice. Who is Zoom user on with us tonight? Are you there, Zoom user?
Oops, sorry, that's probably me.
Yeah.
I think I changed my. It's Kevin. Sorry.
Oh, hi, Kevin.
I'm Zoom user, actually. That's my real name.
Okay.
How's everyone doing today?
Doing pretty good, yeah.
I'm also technologically challenged. I'm just trying to change my name. That's maybe what it was.
Yeah, well, I think you guys are all pretty lucky. I can remember which button to push each week.
There you go.
Yeah. So what about you, Kevin? Are you going to Vegas?
Not yet. Not quite sure yet.
Okay.
Trying to figure out the details, but yeah, it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, it was really cool. A lot of and so I think in that description that Basilio had mentioned, last year's speakers, this year they're going to be up there in a panel, like 6 of them, I think, something like that. And everybody will be able to ask them questions while they're up there. And then they have the couples opening on each day. Matt, the lumberjack, and his wife are starting on Saturday, and then what's the other couple? Anyway, they're the house hacking couple. I can't remember their name off the top of my head.
Is that Suleika?
Suleika, yeah, Jeff and Suleika White. What is their handle? PTO for life, yeah. So they're going to be opening on Sunday, and then he's got, I think the guy's name is Fred. He's he's going to be ending on Sunday. He's a mindset kind of guy. I think he's a pastor or something like that, but yeah, it'll be a bit different this year. Last year, all the speakers were really great. It was worth being there. Anybody else got anything going on they want to chat about?
No major updates for me. I'm still looking at duplexes in Detroit.
How are the renters doing so far?
Actually pretty good. Somebody stole the trash can and recycling bin before they got there, but that was actually pretty easy to replace those. So apparently that's a extremely common occurrence when nobody's at the property. So that's probably just cost of doing business, so to speak. I think the cans are like $25 a piece, and the I think it's waste management that that the city works with. They actually schedule those pretty quickly, and it's usually the day of the trash and recycling, so that makes it easy and convenient for them. So they won't have it this Thursday, but they'll have them. What is next Thursday? The 19th. So that's not too bad.
I'm requesting a demo for Door Loop as we speak, just because how great Matt said it was. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Is that I forgot which Door Loop is like it? I can't remember like in terms of like portfolio size because I think Matt
Yeah,
mentioned something about that.
I think Renee from school said that he had to hound them for months and months for them to allow him to use Door Loop as far as being like a self-managing type of platform. And I think Renee has maybe four or six properties, but it's four bigger operators, and he had to like just pester and pester them for months until they let him because he kind of told them, hey, I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm trying to build this type of, whatever, self-managing landlord course and all these type of things. And they finally caved in and allowed him to kind of use Door Loop for his portfolio. But I think it's for bigger operators, and you need a certain amount of doors for them to let you use it.
Well, thank you very much. I will cancel that then. It just came up, compare Door Loop versus Hemline, so I'm like, all right, let's see. But then you got to request a demo and stuff. I'm not going to waste my time on that if I only got one building.
Yeah, I mean it might be good just to see it, and down the road it might be something you're interested in. But yeah, Renee was like, he had to like just constantly tell, hey, I'm in this for the long haul. And I think they finally just gave it to him so that he stopped bothering them.
I don't want to see it if I can't use it, so I'm not going to bother with it.
Yeah, we have that in the property manager from Gary. Chester, I was going to say your property manager they should have a owner portal, and you should be able to pull all kinds of reports off of that. Some of ours are going to Appfolio. One is like Matesh. Yeah.
Appfolio is the one that I have, but it's basically like what's a good way to put it? There's basically nothing useful in here at all.
What kind of information would you be looking for? Because
like it's basic like statements about like maintenance and what's the word like anything that I've had to pay for getting the property prepared for showings and stuff like that. Like I don't see anything. Like there's no useful, like there's like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Somebody's not putting that information in.
Yeah, so I had to play around with ours a little bit, but when you open up your dashboard and it shows your property and it has those 4 areas of cash in, cash out, your contributions and your disbursements. Of course, you can download the packet and it'll show everything. But then if you scroll down, it shows the rent collected, how much of the rent has been collected by a certain date. It shows the percentage of, we have 3 units on this particular one. It's our triplex. But then if you go down, it shows cash in and then cash out. And there's on the right up there, it says see more. If you hit see more, it takes you to a whole nother list of the fees and the description of the fees. So
Yeah, see, I don't see any of that in the version of Appfolio that I have. Like, it is bare bones is an understatement.
yeah, so I mean, so you might want to just ask him about that, because you should have it. And in the description for us, it's like it shows what money they dispersed to us and which unit it came from. It shows the water bill and how much that was, a gas bill, management fees for each unit, things like that. So I think it's got to be in there for you. You just got to either ask them and have them give you a quick tutorial. But I was telling Mikey the same thing a few weeks ago, because on one of our properties, the one in Illinois, she has this system like you're describing. I can't never find anything on it. All it shows is that the management fee has been deducted, but I couldn't even find that the rent was paid or anything like that. So she's switching over. I don't know what she'll be switching to yet, but all the other ones, Buildium, Appfolio, and yeah, I think those are the two main ones. The one in Milwaukee for the duplex used to have their own website and an owner portal, but they're switching over to Appfolio as well. So Buildium, I like Buildium. It has like 100 different reports you could run, but that
Yeah, I
PM,
like Buildium.
yeah, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, all the expenses and everything are in there.
Mhm.
It's a little convoluted in terms of like going places in there and seeing, like it's not that clean in terms of like clicking expenses and then just going to expenses. It's like you got to go to the time frame first and then drill down further.
Yeah.
And so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's taken a little while or to remember. I mean, the most useful report to me so far has been just the general ledger, because all I really want to see is if the rent came in on time for now and if there were any maintenance requests.
Yeah, and anytime the money posts to my bank account, it gives me a notification on my phone app.
Yeah, those are kind of nice. If you set up the little bell chime and your phone's going off, that's always nice to hear.
And it tells you the amount too. You don't even have to like open the app.
Yeah, on Appfolio, again, for our triplex, we get a notification, and I don't know, for some reason they split it between Cynthia and myself, so we each get half, but it all goes into the same account. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I think she was trying to skim off the top or something. I got to talk to her about that. But yeah, check. Ask
She was
somebody.
taking her finder's fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if the amount is less than the normal amount that gets posted, I'll go look at the expense.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really go in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to know too. If the total rent's not coming in, it's nice to know why.
Now, wouldn't that be something that, well, I guess maybe depending on the dollar amount, maybe they wouldn't, but is that something where you would set up like some sort of like alert or notification, or have the PM to, like, I don't know, text or email or call and say, hey, X, Y, and Z had to come out of the rent because of blah, blah, blah reason or whatever, something so that you have some sort of update, even if it's not them having a physical person like send it text or an email, just some way to be able to say, okay, this is coming out for this reason.
You're asking for too much. They'll just post it on there, and then you'll go in and look at it, look at the expense, and then if you have questions, you can call them.
There's we've had this discussion and it's a pain point for us, right? Because like you said, they have a minimum. So just if it's 250 and they do anything that's less than 250, they won't message you or anything. If they need your approval because it's over 250, then they tell you. So now 3 or 4 of our properties are on Appfolio, and our property manager in St. Louis, whenever they get a maintenance request, if the tenant puts in a maintenance request or has any issue, I get a notification. So I know all of them could do it. So now I'm working towards getting all of them to do that. And it's not like I'm going to complain every time a maintenance request comes in, right? You just want to know, hey, your rent's going to be short $200 because they had a plumbing request or something like that. But they won't automatically do it. I'm trying to reach all of them, at least the ones that are on Appfolio, because I know it can be done because one of our guys does it. So now I just need to get them all to follow suit. And I've said before, I think we're lucky with the property managers that we have because they'll at least have a conversation with me and it's easy to get a hold of them. And if there's a reason why they can't do this thing that I'm asking for, then they'll tell me. And so far it's been reasonable. They haven't ever told me they won't do anything that I'm asking. But they need to know from you what's important to you, Chester. And just tell them, hey, is there any way you can just set up an alert and say, when you get a request, just have it come to me too, just so I know. And I'm not going to call and bug you every time you get one, but it's nice. I just want to know if the rent income is going to be affected in any way.
Yeah, because I mean, if nothing else, it's transparency and a different set of eyes, if you will, to be able to start spotting things like, hey, this one property keeps having X, Y, and Z happening over and over every month, and then try to be able to, quote unquote, get ahead of it or something like that. So it's one of those things that you simply can't prepare for until you're like in the middle of it.
Yep. Sounds like you're learning lots. I think just try to keep going and trying to get in touch with them and get the answers you need and stuff, and then see what that experience is like, and that might help you make a better decision. And if you do end up paying something for, to get rid of them right away, that might be the best thing. But you're going to have to look. Either you're going to have to decide on the Hemling thing or start vetting some other PMs in the area. And Mikey and I were talking about this the other day about keeping this experience and all your frustrations fresh in your mind, because if you go and start interviewing other PMs, you'll want to bring those questions up to them too and see how they would handle the situation. And also, when you're looking at other property managers, make sure you know who the actual property manager will be, because they'll a lot of times send you to, say, like their salesperson, right? And they have all the right answers. But when you're talking to them, say, hey, are you actually the one who will be managing my property or not? Because I want to know, and I want to be in touch with that person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. So we will cut it here if that's all right.
Yeah, I need to do something to calm myself down because I'm like all wired and it's half after midnight almost.
Yeah. Okay, well, keep us posted, and if there's anything we can ever help you with, you can always reach me.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it.
Have some hot cocoa, Chester. That'll calm you down.
Yeah, and a little bit of whiskey.
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Take care. Get some
Okay.
sleep. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks
I
so
feel
much.
for you.
We'll
Good
see
night.
you all next week.
All righty. Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
one.
All right, thanks everyone.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.